Welcome everyone. Today we are once again playing some Clash Royale. This shirt that I'm wearing is a new shirt. My youngest brother, who is 14, got it for me for Christmas. You can see it says forecast 100% chance of clashing, so you know I had to wear it for the next Clash video. Today we are bringing back the Rhyming Decks series. It's been a little while since I made a rhyming deck, and today we are rhyming once again with Oar. So we're going to be using a card that pops out of the floor, a card that you could roast, a card where you could roast s'mores, a card that rides on a boar, which is a wild pig, a card that's used by Thor, a card that is dressed up for the Revolutionary War, a card that comes in a set of four, because you get four goblins, a card that spends a lot of time on the shore, and then a card that you could buy at a store. So this is going to be the Ore deck that we are going to be using today. And I think I've mentioned this in a couple videos in the past, but I really like to watch, I'm really interested in crime. I like crime. Um, not in the sense that I like to commit crimes, or that I like, not that I actually like the crime itself, but I like to learn about crimes. I like to watch forensic files and um, other crime episodes, just to see how crimes are solved, kind of see the process of how that works, how they catch the killer. Crime is just something that interests me, and a lot of times when I watch forensic files is normally the one that I watch, just because it's on YouTube, which you can watch it easily. I can watch it from my laptop, and it's also fairly condensed. Um, Man, I don't even know how to. I guess we'll just lightning them both. It seems like this guy's playing like all of the lightningable cards. He's playing Witch, Furnace, Magic Archer. Um, I thought he had one more, but maybe not. But normally I watch forensic files, and it's just interesting seeing how they solve crimes, kind of seeing some of the some of the why as to you know getting inside the human brain, seeing why some people commit crimes, and yeah, I don't know why I didn't just play that at the King Tower and activate King, but um, this is normally what happens when I go off on a tangent and start talking, as I start not focusing on the game and not making the plays that I need to make. But usually when I watch, okay, this is perfect timing. We can just go with this now. But it kind of gives you a little insight into, it just makes you realize how crazy, and how just deranged these people must be. Like, how inhuman do you have to be in order to, commit some of these crimes? Because are, some of them are horrible. Like, some people are not just killed, but they're like dismembered as well. Like, some killers actually cut up, the body, and they're like, there's just a bunch of cases of really, really sick people, and it kind of makes you think, like, what's what's the motive behind it? Like, why do some people do this? And one of the thoughts that I was kind of having as to, maybe an explanation as to why some people do what they do, why some people are able to kill and commit these terrible acts and not really feel any remorse and just kind of keep doing it. One of the thoughts I had is just, um, oh, I didn't even realize we get the 5-star drop. So you can see if this is usually. I think most people get pretty unlucky with these, so I'm expecting like Rune Giant or Barb Hut or something, just something completely useless. And that is actually not terrible. I actually do have quite a bit of epics in my the normal deck that I use, so it's not the worst thing. Um, I'm part of a Discord chat or Discord group, and some people text in photos of what they got from the 5-star drop. Some people get pretty unlucky, but I think that was not bad as far as what we could have gotten. But anyway, as I was kind of thinking about what, how some of these people can do these horrible acts and just not feel remorse, not have a not have a problem with. Okay, I guess we'll just go with this. Um, I think isolation plays a big part in it. Just not being around other people. Um, and it was a little bit different with, like, the 1980s, the 1990s, like crimes that were committed then, because the internet wasn't as much of a thing then. Um, but a lot of people that were able to kind of commit these terrible acts and that kind of didn't care about people are the ones that didn't really spend time around them. They were kind of isolated. Maybe they lived alone. Maybe they grew up in an abusive household, or maybe they didn't have both parents in their life, or just something where they were they were isolated from other people. They weren't around other people. Like a surprising amount lived by them. Like a lot of serial killers, just kind of live on their own. Maybe they live with somebody else, but it's just that's just a kind of a trend that I notice with a lot of people, is just being isolated from kind of society. And with the with social media being a big thing now, there's also a lot of younger people that I've seen, like younger teenagers who have just gotten a gun and gone to commit a school shooting or something of that sort. A lot of those people just again didn't have a lot of friends, didn't really have any social groups, and kind of spent all of their time on a screen or by themselves, just kind of isolating from other people. And it makes sense, because if you spend all of your time on a screen, all of the people, just in case this guy has rocket, because it looks like he's playing log bait, we'll put it up high. Um, but a lot of, it makes sense why that would be the case, because if you're spending all your time on a screen, all of the people, all of your interaction essentially comes from all the people that you see are just on a screen, right? They become nothing more than pixels on a screen, because that's all the human interaction you get. And so it kind of takes away the humanity from people, because now they're not people, now they're just kind of objects on a screen, if that makes sense. And so even for someone like me who is pretty introverted and doesn't like spending a lot of time with people, it's still important for me to be able to do that, to be able to interact with family, to be able to spend time around people, just because I just realize it's not healthy to just isolate from people and not, because when you do that, then you really start to feel distant from others. You know what? We're just gonna mirror hog rider, just because, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing either. So I guess that's kind of a reminder, because if you spend a ton of time on social media, it's just kind of a reminder to maybe hop off social media for a bit. Go spend some time with your family or your friends, or just whoever you have, really. Um, because when you do that, it's kind of a reminder that every time you do that, you're reminded that the interactions you're having, the conversations you're having, are with real people. Like, these are real people. They you start to realize that they're more, they're human as well. Whereas if all of your you know being around peopleness is online, then I think people start to lose some of that. And so that's just one of the trends that I noticed as I was kind of watching a lot of these crime shows, is a lot of them don't have many friends, a lot of them kind of isolate, a lot of them are kind of loners. And so it's just important that even if you are introverted like myself, Okay, that was unexpected. Um, but even if you're introverted like me, even if you don't like people like me, it's still important to be able to spend a little bit of time with them, a little bit of time with family and friends, just to kind of, it's just healthy. It's good for the mind, good for the soul, um, and I usually feel a little bit better when I'm spending time with other people. So just a little reminder to do that. Take a little break off of screens for a while. Um, Engage with other people. Don't just isolate. Don't just spend all your time on one of these. That was the Oar deck that we tried out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you enjoyed the message as well. And I will see you all in the next video.